Hello, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. Let me introduce you to Sol-Orr's Wren. W-E-E, Wren. Wren like the bird. So Wren joined our herd a couple of years ago. She's just now 2. And she comes from the same breeder as Sol-Orr's Spring Fantasy, Fanta, and Sol-Orr's Emily, our very first 2 goats to join the farm. Wren was a purchase at a point when we realized that some of our older goats were retiring from the breeding program. We needed to refresh our genetics a bit because we had lots of daughters and granddaughters, but you know, you always need to have fresh genetics as the years go by. And we simply fell in love with her. So we met her at a show. And while we were showing goats, this little baby goat at the time was hilarious. 1, she never shut up. 2, she escaped everything that you put her in. If you put her in a stall, she was out in 10 seconds. If you put her, I know you don't like it. If you put her in a crate or a pen, she figured out how to release the lock and let herself out. But it was that personality coupled with the genetics behind her, certainly were the most critical. Her conformation, her ear set, her potential. At the time, she certainly didn't have any facial hair, but her potential for having facial hair and the potential for a coat were all the reasons that we really fell in love with her. Her personality over the top did it, though. The blue eyes didn't hurt either. You know her from just about every video I have of the goat. She's first up to greet me. She's just personality plus, and that's what I want in my goats. Now, I'm also very partial to black and whites, as you may have noticed, so that didn't hurt either. But certainly that was not part of the overall consideration. She's got no undercoat, so to speak of at all, so her grooming is going to be fast and furious. But she is not what I would consider a show goat right now. She still has the potential to become one, but she is not. Her coat, as you can see, is coming in layers. It is not flowing all the way to the floor where it should be at 2 years of age. She might get there by 3 or 4, and that'd be awesome. She has a lot of good things going for her in terms of her conformation, as I said, her ear set, her facial features, her facial muffs, her facial beard. All of this activity up here and down here is so critical to the overall look and feel of a mini Silky. But this is not, okay? This should all be one length, and it should be straight across and hitting the floor, and it's not. It might grow, and you might get there. However, instead of being disappointed about that, I'm thrilled because there's 2 other things that she brings to the table. The first being no undercoat. So that is very similar to my lines in Jezebel, Lotus Flower, and Sock Monkey. All their videos are up for you already. And secondly, her coat texture is incredible. She is just fine silk all the way through. The sheen on her coat, as dirty as it is, just comes through instantaneously. She has no undercoat, so nothing mats, nothing knots. Her grooming is a breeze, and she passes all that on to her kids, as we've discovered when she had her first baby this year. So very excited about that. I'm very excited to potentially keep babies from her and improve on their coat length year on year. Coat length isn't hard to improve on. Coat texture is hard to improve on. Facial features and facial muffs are really hard to improve on. And believe it or not, the hardest thing to improve on is the ear set. She's got her angry ears on right now because she hates being confined. But the ear set is one of the hardest things to fix in goats. Probably because none of us really understand which gene makes it happen. So you breed a good goat with a goat with a good ear set to another goat with a good ear set, and you hope for the best. And it doesn't really always come out, and there's no rhyme or reason. So I don't know. I'm sure there's a geneticist out there that would be able to figure it out. I know enough to be dangerous, not enough to be precise. So ear set is the hardest thing to fix, and she's got all of that going for her. I would love to get her in the ring one day, but if I were to put her in the ring right now with this coat length against other animals of the same age and same quality, she's just not going to show because her length is just not there. She's got the personality, she's got the stature, she's got the absolute stance and conformation, she's got everything else going for her. She just needs some length on her coat. And that is not the end of the world if she never gets in a ring. It just means that I want to pair her with a buck that really puts length of coat on, and that's going to be Mr. Phineas. She was paired with him already once. I absolutely loved the boy that she gave birth to this year. I thought about keeping him, but as I talked about, my philosophy is not to keep bucks that haven't been proven, and I haven't seen how her kids grow up yet, right? I haven't seen them actually attain the potential I think they have. So he was weathered and he was sold as a pet, and he went to an amazing home that loves him to death, and that's all that matters. And that's it for Wren. That's why I like this goat and this type of coat, right? This is the way grooming should be. She doesn't love it. She hates being confined. That's why she's an escape artist. But, and she's going to yell about it too, aren't you, you silly girl? Aren't you? But she's, she's got everything I want from a goat and then some. And I'm really excited to continue her line with us. My thoughts right now are I will probably want to keep a buckling from her first and introduce a buckling as part of my herd sire so that all the positives she has in terms of stature, in terms of her coat quality, again, that texture, the ear set, the eye color, all the things will be something that I can use in a buck to really infuse my herd and breed that buck to lines like Lotus Flower, like Sock Monkey. I think we'll just speed up and enhance the breeding program and the effect that I am looking for. So that's my initial plan. It's still many years away, right, to see fruition. But there you go. That's all there is about wee Wren. She's fast, she's furious, she hates to be confined, and she's personality plus, and I love her to death for it. All right, so we are going to let her free because she does not like to be up here much longer, and I will talk to you at the next one. Bye for now.